Today is the festival of Corpus Christi and I'm standing outside St. Patrick's Church in Louisburgh. Corpus Christi is normally a day when Louisburgh looks its finest with beautifully decorated altars, and as the community can't get together to have a procession this morning, I'm going to take a little video of the beautifully decorated altars around the town here in Louisburgh. We'll be getting back to our church soon, but for now I'm going to take you on a little walk around our beautiful town. So I'm leaving the church now and I'm heading out towards the street. And Corpus Christi dates back to the 13th century. It was when St. Juliana had a vision of a blemish in the moon. And this was recognised as a festival that was missing on earth, celebrating Christ. It was first celebrated in the 13th century and came to Ireland in the 15th century. And ever since then, people decorated, there were pageants and processions, and there are lovely decorations. And here's one of the first on the main street here in Louisburgh. We've got a beautiful display here depicting the Child of Prague, lovely flowers, and a little stairway here, beautiful doorway. Thank you. Going to continue on up the street here, going past the post office. So Corpus Christi was a huge festival in the 15th century in Ireland. As I said, there were many guilds that got together, mariners, and they would all play different depictions from characters from the Bible, Moses, Cain and Abel. Here we've got a beautiful statue with a lovely flower display at the post office. Corpus Christi kind of died away around a lot of towns in Ireland, but it's coming back into popularity again. And here we are at the hairdressers. As you see, the hairdressers is closed, but hopefully they'll all be opening again soon. We've got the Child of Prague here with a lovely, beautiful flower display. Corpus Christi is returning to a lot of towns around Ireland now. But I believe it's been celebrated in Louisburgh and Clean for many, many years. It's returning to some parishes in Dublin. It's celebrated in Wexford. Here we have the Sacred Heart with beautiful flower display. It's a beautiful morning here in Louisburgh. It's lovely and warm. It's a bit cloudy, but we won't mind that. There's some lovely heat, and we've been very lucky with the weather during lockdown here. It's kept all our spirits up, and the community has been absolutely amazing with Louisburgh Community TV. It's just such a wonderful community for inspiring people. In Ireland, Corpus Christi is also known as Beautiful Thursday for the benches, and we've got the lovely yellow flags growing all around the ditches and the fields at the moment. And that was a day when it was traditional to, it's a lovely display here. It was traditional to meet at benches and put yellow flags on people's doorways. And that's why it was known a lovely day for the benches. And here we are outside Staunton's, who've been great for the community as well. They're actually on Today FM during the week with their lovely snacks and club milks that they're giving out to the community when people buy their prescriptions. They have a lovely display here, so we'll take a look at that in just a few moments. So we'll come back to Staunton's in a few moments. Now I'm just crossing the square here, or as it could be called, the Diamond, as we saw in our oral history on Community TV the other day.
But, how's it going?
So I was talking about the yellow flags. They're really an ancient plant in Ireland. They're even mentioned in folklore in the wooing of Atene, where they said that her hair was as golden or as beautiful as the yellow iris, which is the flower that's associated with celebrating Corpus Christi. It's a feast that falls on the Thursday, but it's usually celebrated on the Sunday. Just continuing down the street here now. We've got another display here, the Sacred Heart and some flowers outside Keen's. And Louisburgh is starting to open up again. Another display here. It would be traditional for the procession would be led by the men, and the children would be dressed in their, whoever made their communion, they'd be dressed in their communion clothes, the girls and the boys. Unfortunately, a lot of children didn't get to make their communion so far. They might get to make their communion later on this year, or maybe have to wait until next year. But it would be men leading the procession, and they would be followed by the women, and then the children dressed in their communion clothes and are dressed in their Sunday best. And then the priest would hold the Eucharist. So that's what it's about. Corpus Christi is the body of Christ. It's taking the Eucharist out onto the street. They'd walk down the street here, and then they would continue back to the square. There would be benediction, and people would be singing hymns as they walk along, and then they would go back to the church. So now we're outside PJ Salmon's. Lovely display here of the Sacred Heart and some lovely roses. So we're at the bridge now. I'm going to cross the street now and walk back up the other side of town. A lot of these businesses will be starting to open back up again. We've already got some businesses open. There's a little bit of life coming back into the town again, but the community has remained strong. We had our St. Patrick's Day parade, our drive-by parade, so maybe this is something a little bit similar, and we can all support one another through the time that we've been having. It's lovely to see all our lovely and colourful shop fronts, and here we have some flowers in the doorway, so it would be traditional as well as the 1st of May Day. It's also traditional on Corpus Christi to leave flowers in people's doorways. So we're coming up to McNamara's now, who have a display here. So here we have the Sacred Heart and some lovely hydrangeas. And the Duffys. Beautiful flowers. Pink lilies, the Sacred Heart, some roses, carnations. People go into so much work to make these lovely displays. It's just a lovely thing to do in the community. And here we have another one at the outfitter's shop. Some lovely roses and a picture of the Virgin Mary. Now I'm back at the square again. I'm going to go across the street again over to Staunton's to have a look at their lovely display. It was a busy morning in Tia this morning. They've got a cake sale on for the proceeds are going to the Mayo Most Common Hospice. So we're outside Staunton's here. Hi Brenda. I'm just doing a little video, hope you don't mind me including this. Lovely display here outside Staunton's of the Virgin Mary and some beautiful flowers as well, and they've been so good to the community during this time. So we're outside Tia. There's a queue there outside Tia, so I'm not going to film people there because I haven't asked for their permission, so they do have a nice display there outside to you. And here we are outside the town hall. And of course it was June last year that Louisburgh Music School put on the opera of Dido and Aeneas at the end of June. We had a lovely time there. Here's a little statue of the Virgin Mary and Jesus. So hopefully we'll be able to get back to those celebratory times again. Another statue here of the Virgin Mary. So we've kind of done the walk of the procession that would normally happen through the town, stopping at the square and then coming back to the church again. So things are slowly but surely starting to return to a new kind of normality. There's another lovely display of the Virgin Mary and some flowers. Of course, we'll all be going back to a new normal, but I'm sure this community will thrive and we'll all get through it together. Child of Prague there, some flowers, Sacred Heart. It's wonderful to see the beautiful community effort that people do here. And here we are back at the church on Corpus Christi morning, and hopefully this time next year we'll all be able to join in a big procession together. And wishing everybody well, and thank you for joining me on this video.